Today we are concluding the 2024 New Year's content with a vision board video. I think this is my third year creating a yearly vision board. If you're new to the vision boarding game, or even if you're just looking to level up your vision board strategy, maybe make it a little bit more effective, actually stuff that you can manifest and create in your life, I'm hoping this video will help you out with that. I'm gonna show you how I create my digital vision boards using Canva, completely free software, and we'll also chat about some tips that I have for creating a better, more effective vision board for yourself if that's something that you really want to upgrade in 2024. We are drinking water today because I'm really trying to stay hydrated in 2024, so no fancy coffee, we're just hydrated in this video. So even though in this video we're going to be chatting about digital vision boards, I actually created a physical vision board this year for the first time. I've never done this project before and I love it so much. I always was just like, physical vision board, a lot of work, not worth it. But I actually went to a vision board making party, which I was just like so excited to be invited. But I think it turned out really beautifully, and we're going to be utilizing a lot of the same images that I put on this physical vision board in my digital vision board. I'm going to be having this hanging on my wall, and even if you do create your vision board digitally, I strongly recommend printing out a copy of it and putting it up on your wall, because you can make it your phone background, your computer background, your Notion banner, which I tend to do almost all of those things, but there's nothing quite like having it physically in front of your face very frequently. Strongly recommend, even if you do use the digital strategy, to print it out and have a physical copy for yourself. So before we actually get into creating my vision board for the year, I want to actually take a look at last year's vision board. So this is last year's board. It's crazy because this feels so distant. Also, you can clearly see there was a lot less pictures going on in last year's board than what I've got going on this year, but I was very intentional with each image that I selected. I did like having these analytics little screenshots on here. I think that's something that I might do again this year with my sort of more analytic based goals. Some of these images still resonate and some of them really don't. This image of Bria Jones, at the time it was like to represent taking content creation more seriously, and she was someone who was really inspiring me at the time. It's just funny because now I don't watch her, but you can see some common themes here. There's lots about being a creator with the vlog camera, the editing. There's lots about moving into a new apartment, which I did do, even though it didn't end up looking quite like these apartments that I have on the vision board. Overall, I would say this vision board was like 50% a good representation of what my year ended up being and feeling like. And I feel like that's okay. You know, sometimes you make a vision board and by the end of the year, it no longer really resonates. I don't know that I would select several of these photos now. Our goals, our vibe that we're trying to be on is constantly ever evolving. And that's why I think it's important to refresh things like your vision board when you enter a new era, as we all do in the new year. So that being said, we're gonna go ahead and start creating my new 2024 vision board. So the first step that I would recommend if you're about to start creating a vision board is to go onto Pinterest, of course, and search for your images. Now, this is not a step to be taken lightly. And I say that because the specifics of the images that you choose matters. My philosophy with vision boards is always to try and make it as realistic as you can while also making it still aspirational. The pitfall that a lot of people fall into creating a vision board is that they put these like insane aesthetic, aspirational, that girl images on a vision board that feels so distant from where they're at now in their current lives that it doesn't even feel like the vision board is theirs. Like there's a lack of personal connection to it. It's just aesthetic photos. Oh, that girl's pretty. That life looks great. I want that much money. And therefore they're just throwing things onto their vision board that don't even necessarily personally resonate with them. So I always very much try to ask myself before I select an image, is there something in this image that's actionable or that feels like something I can realistically attain or bring into my life this year? If the answer is no, I'm not going to include it on the vision board. Sometimes an image might have specifics that I don't necessarily want or think I can achieve, but the feeling of it represents something that I want to achieve, and I will still include some of those images. You really just need to pay attention to how do you feel when you look at this image. Is it inspiring? Is it motivating? Does it make you want to romanticize your life or achieve something? Or does it have like that opposite effect where you look at it and you're just like, I could never be that girl. That's just like so unattainable, and it just makes you feel like jealous and crappy, you know? So pay attention to how you feel when you're selecting your Pinterest images. Make sure that they're ones that feel still attainable while also motivating and inspiring you. One of the searches that I used to find these images was just 2024 vision board inspo. You can find images that other people have already curated for their own vision vision boards, I feel like this is a really good place to start if you're not entirely sure which areas or themes you want to include in a vision board. There's lots of like fun quotes in here. There's wellness focused images, lifestyle things, flowers, farmers markets, productivity, like things around getting good grades. I feel like that's a great jumping off point, but also, you know, don't be afraid to get a little bit more specific. Some of the images that I selected include things like a tennis court because I play tennis, books because I'm trying to be more of a reader. Specificity is great when creating a vision board. You don't just want these general aesthetic images that don't actually mean anything. So I like searched for specific things like a girl at a farmer's market. Of course, included a girl doing Pilates because that's something I really enjoy. A girl walking with flowers, even just like a very simple photo of like 2 drinks and like a book and a hairbrush. This image is to represent revising my book this year. So I have a really wide range of my interests and different goals and intentions for the year represented on this board, which I really love. It feels like every image kind of represents a different portion of what I want my year to be, maybe a different goal or just like a different aspect of my life, so that I feel like a lot of the pie of my life is represented on this vision board. Okay, now that you've gathered all of your images, you've saved them, you're feeling good about them, now we get to the actual creation process of your vision board. So I do not have Canva Pro at the moment. I'm just going to be using the free version of Canva, so you can literally go onto Canva and do exactly what I'm doing here. I have Photoshop. I use Photoshop for most things, but specifically with things like vision boards, Canva is so user friendly. I strongly recommend creating different versions of your vision board for different dimensions. If you are planning to make it something like your phone screen, your Notion header, if you're a Notion girly, it's such a great opportunity to just see your vision board more frequently if you have it as the banner on like your main Notion page or your yearly goals page. But for like the base, we're gonna just go ahead and do a desktop wallpaper. I feel like those sorts of dimensions are also really good for like printing if you want to put this on your wall. So it's like a good bet to start with. So let's go ahead and do a desktop wallpaper, 1920 by 1080. And we're gonna go ahead and start uploading our images. So you just go down to this upload tab, upload files, and I saved everything in a folder titled vision board. I did, didn't I? Where is that folder? There it is. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab all of these images. And then it is literally so freaking easy to just like drag, drop, resize. Photoshop could never. It's just like insanely user friendly. I love having books on my vision board this year. Like that just feels so wholesome and sweet. I love that my vision board this year is not so necessarily achievement oriented like my one last year was. There were a few photos that were there for the vibes last year, but the vast majority of images were connected to something I wanted to achieve, whether that was a fitness goal or YouTube growth or moving into a new apartment. And while that's still present in this vision board, I also really enjoy that some of these photos are just here for the vibes and the feeling I want to create this year. If you didn't watch my other reset content, my word for the year is romanticize. And I feel like just looking at this vision board, it's very clear to me that that is reflected in these images. It's super easy to crop too, which is again something that Photoshop could never. I'm adding like some overlap and just trying to make it feel organic so it has that more like hand done feel. It would actually be awesome if I had the word romanticize. I should have done that. Okay, so this is our base. I feel amazing about this. Now it's time to go in with the seasoning. First things first, I'm gonna go ahead and create those sort of like analytic screenshots that I like to include in these vision boards. And I actually have an idea for one that I'm going to do that I'm really excited about. So I thought it'd be cool this year to include a screenshot of what it looks like when I receive a YouTube AdSense payment in like my bank account to kind of represent my goal of making my YouTube earnings more consistent. I just feel like that'll be like a fun little way to incorporate that. And then of course, we're going to do what I did last year with editing a little fake subscriber count for my YouTube channels. So my subscriber goal this year was kind of different because I'm aiming for 5K subscribers between my 2 channels. I think the way that I'm going to break that down for the purpose of this vision board is 3,500 subscribers on my main channel and 1,500 subscribers on my writing channel, which actually feels incredibly doable given my current rates of growth on either channel. Love that I set a more realistic subscriber goal this year. I just feel like that's going to be very good for my mental health. If you are curious, I do use Photoshop for the purpose of fudging these numbers and creating these sort of fake screenshots. Whether you have a financial goal that you're really passionate about achieving this year, an analytics goal, or just some other accomplishment that has like a numerical quality to it, or maybe you're applying for scholarship and you want to make a fake acceptance letter. Maybe you're getting a new job and you want to create a fake job offer. I think having a physical representation of something you want to receive can be really powerful, and I feel like very good for like all the manifestation side of vision boarding, because you're seeing the physical evidence of what you want to achieve before it happens, and it just feels a little bit more real and attainable when you look at it in front of you and you're like, yeah, why can't my numbers look like that? Why can't that email land in my account, you know? And then last but not least, something that I really love to do that Canva has that's really cool is just these little like graphic elements, which I love. You can add in some fun little like washi tape, like little pieces of clear tape, little graphics. And I feel like this is just such a nice way to give your vision board a little bit of extra personality and love. They have these nice little clear tapes that I love. Just adds a little bit of texture. I added this to last year's vision board and loved it. They even have like fun little graphics like this little matcha. I feel like you could have so much fun with this. I don't think I'm gonna add a ton of graphics, but I did like adding these little tape elements. Yeah, the options are really endless, and I love that a lot of these graphics are free. There's obviously a lot that are premium only, but you can get a good amount for free as well. Okay, so that is my completed vision board. I love her. I hope you guys got some good tips from this video if you're making your own vision board, or if you were just along for the ride. I hope you enjoyed watching me create mine. If you haven't seen the rest of my 2024 reset content, this is the fourth part. I made 2 videos talking about my 2024 goals, and then I made a video discussing how much YouTube paid me in 2023. So definitely check out those other reset videos. But this is the end of the New Year's content. I'm wishing you all a super happy 2024. If you made it to the end of this video, comment fire vision boards only in 2024. And yeah, with that, I'm gonna go to the farmer's market. So I love you guys so much. Let me know if you use any of these tips when you create your own vision board, and I'll see you next week with another one. Bye.